Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Chanel and today I am bringing you a video of full face of black owned brands slash black collabs, because I don't have a full face of everything for just black owned brands, so I thought I'd include collabs as well from some of my favourite artists that have also done collaborations with companies as well, just sort of as a full face video. I've seen a couple of these done before, especially during this time, just as a good video, and I was thinking to myself, do I have enough products to do a full face? I actually have more than I thought, which was quite good, and some of them are some of my staples, you know, like the Fenty Beauty and that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, that is the video for today. I would just like to put a slight disclaimer: do not send for my eyelashes. Okay, I put up a poll on my Instagram and I was like, oh, which one would you prefer? Not thinking that I only have like 3 eyelashes on one eye and pretty much a full set on the other eye, and unfortunately this video won. So do not come for me for my eyelashes. We are getting them infilled, but apparently this is the video that the people wanted, so let's get straight into it. First product that I was going to do, now I was going to do the Fenty Beauty foundation and primer, but I'm not too sure whether I'm automatically going to jump straight to Fenty, just because I also have the Born This Way foundation. Now I bought this one a while back, ages ago, and this was a part of the Jackie Aina and Too Faced collab where she brought out a set range of black foundations because they were missing quite a few in the middle. The shade I have is in Cocoa, but I don't actually think that this shade is one of the newer shades, and I also think that this shade is a bit too dark for me. If you see the shade on my hand, well, yeah, you can see the difference in the shade on my hand. So this is more of a holiday shade for me. So I put it on my hand just to have a look, and at first I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's not too bad. But yeah, where I can see it on my hand now, it's actually, yeah, no, completely different. This is more of my holiday shade. So this is the type of foundation I take to Barbados. I haven't been able to go in to get shade matched again, but part of the problem is, well, when I tan anyway, it's mostly on my face, but my neck is a lot darker than my chest. So depending on where you shade match to, I think when I went in, I was just wearing obviously t-shirt and everything like that. So they shade matched me quite well to my neck and my skin at the time from where I just come back from holiday. But yeah, if we put this foundation against my chest, you can see it's quite a few shades different on there. So now that I've had a look at it in the light, I think I am going to go in with the 2 staple favourites, which Fenty Beauty came in, changed the game, shade range for days, which was part of why it was so iconic when they first came out, because they launched with a ton of shades. So I don't know the exact way, because obviously it's Fenty Beauty, Rihanna is the face, but I think there is also a company that's involved in it as well, so it's not completely black owned, but I mean, it's Rihanna, so we don't care. So I'm just going to put some of the Pro Filter Mattifying Foundation. Now I did have the main foundation, which I quite like, because I quite liked the regular foundation, but the Mattify foundation I do like as well. So I just mixed the 2 together, because when I went and got shade matched in Harvey Nichols, they mixed the 2 together and then worked the 2 in around the face. So that has pretty much been the way that I use it. So I'm just going to go in, mix it in together with my oval brush, and just go in all over the face. And I like the way this blends out. At first I was always a beauty blender over everything type of person when it came to foundation, but now I'm very much of, I do like the oval brushes. These are some of my favourite brushes. Not that I really should be mentioning them because they're not quite black owned, but yeah, definitely a big fan of the oval brush tool, especially when I'm in a rush and I'm like, yep, foundation and go. So we will go in with that. I just love the finish on this, so stunning. And the funny thing is, when I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before on my channel, but when I went to get shade matched, I wasn't sure what my foundation shade was on the Fenty Beauty line, and I wasn't sure how it matched up with other foundations. But when you look on the actual Fenty website, my foundation shade looks orange. And if you don't mix the foundation in the bottle, it does have a huge orange hue that you see at the bottom sometimes. You do have to shake this foundation. So I'm not too sure. I'm in the 445, but yeah, I'm not too sure what it is with this shade, but yeah, it's heavily orange. And as I said, if you don't mix it well, you can see the orange sort of hue left over in the bottle on there. But if you actually go on the Fenty Beauty website, it does look orange. I'm just going to quickly do my concealer off camera because I don't actually have a black owned concealer, because my favourite go-to was the Revolution concealers, because number one, they're so cheap, and number two, they work. And after Tarte Cosmetics got cancelled, it was a staple that everyone was using the Revolution concealers, and they've still been a staple for me. I do have a couple of Too Faced concealers as well, but I don't really conceal a lot, to be fair. It's only really to remove this slight bit here and here, but other than that, there's not really too much, and obviously to highlight around the mouth. But yes, I'm just going to conceal, and then we'll be right back onto the next step. Okay, so concealer is on. I don't really conceal. I conceal to sort of blend everything out, but I don't really brighten anymore. I used to do a lot under my eyes and stuff to really brighten my eyes, but now I kind of like just a full, flat, flawless base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Honey Setting Powder. This is one of my favourite powders. I've gone through quite a few powders before that I've tried, and they've left a lot of flashback or this or that, and everyone has their own sort of technique on what they do to avoid flashback and things. Me, wet beauty blender, or damp beauty blender should I say, and just a smidgen under the eyes is definitely a trick for me, which I quite like. And I just kind of go in underneath and just lightly set the eyes. I don't do anything too crazy. I don't bake for 10 years or anything like that. Just a damp beauty blender just to set under the eyes. And I saw on Jackie Anna's channel, she just kind of takes off the excess on the back of her hand and just kind of boom. And I have to say, I do love this powder. It is definitely one of my favourites. And then we'll do just a smidgen around the smile line. And then what I like to do is just lightly dust around the rest of my face with the Beauty Bakery setting powder. Their powder's quite red, which is why I don't use a lot of it, and I just lightly dust around the rest of my face because of their brown powder. It is very, very red, which I've noticed when I put on, especially as I have quite yellow undertones. So I just mix, sometimes I'll either mix a little bit of it with some of the Fenty powder, so I'll mix it in with the yellow, or I will just very, very lightly dust the rest of my face. So we will go in and do that now. And when I say lightly, I literally mean like a smidgen. But I notice like sometimes you see people and some don't like that sort of overly powdery finished look, and others prefer that. I like the powdered, finished, flawless look of a finished face. But as I said, everyone's to their own anyway. And then I don't actually have a blush, thinking about it. I only own two blushes. One's Milani and one is MAC. And blush just lasts me forever. I think I feel like I do own another blush, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, yeah, they're the main ones that I use. I mean, I use my MAC one all the time anyway. I've had it for ages and stuff, so I always use that blush. But yeah, I don't have a black owned blush, so we will just use a smidgen. Let me see if I've got anything that I can make work. I don't think I have actually. No, I don't. Okay, well, it's just a flawless matte base then. For the eyes, I'm going to go in with Juvia's Place. I know this company is a little bit, well, I don't know, I think they're a little bit controversial at the moment because I know they are a black owned brand, but they did come under scrutiny for the way that they treated certain black influencers. I know Jackie Aina doesn't use them on her channel anymore, and I think a few other American YouTube makeup artists spoke up about the company as well, in the way that they treated some of the people in working with them and sort of promotion and that sort of stuff. But for me, this is one of the best eyeshadow palettes I've ever used, and I still have it to this day. So I thought it is still a black owned brand, so we will go in just with a simple look because I have a ton of eyelashes as well. So yes, I don't even know what look I'm gonna go in for. Maybe just a nice nude brown moment, I think. Especially putting on eyeshadow behind huge eyelashes. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they did have, or they do have, like a big partnership with like Nikki Tutorials, and I see a lot of like the Love and Hip Hop stars. They for a while were using a lot of their products as well. So I don't know if that was something just to kind of get them back in everyone's good books or something like that. But I know sort of certain bridges were burned and stuff. But as I said, as far as quality goes, I like their quality. The pigment shows up on dark skin. So yeah, I do like their products. I haven't tried their foundation, but again, it's sort of, you know, getting shade matched and all that sort of stuff, and trying to figure out sort of what your shade is. And it's hard shopping online for something against a skin colour as well, which is always the hardest part. So yeah, who knows. So I'm just doing a simple nude moment. So I've just blended in a nice pink shade into a nice brown shade, just so you can have, just so there's a pop of colour to say I've made a little bit of an effort. Not that you can see much of it with my hooded eyelashes, hooded eyelids and all of my eyelashes. Well, you can see it through the gap on this one anyway, since it's here. But yeah, just like a nice nude moment. As I said, like I haven't put any base on or any concealer or anything like that, and you can still see the pop of colour in on both of my eyelids without anything, which is why I really like their products. So that's why yeah, the pigment is definitely there for brown skin. So yeah, just as I said, nice simple brown pink moment, just to add that extra behind the eyelashes for when you see the eyes closed. Then for highlighter, I've got the Jackie Aina Artist Couture highlighter. This is my favourite. This is my favourite. It comes with me wherever I go, whether it's on holiday or, you know, if I'm going to visit someone in a different country, or that's the same thing, or like around the country or anything like that, weekend away, I always bring this. It always stays closed, but I'm using it so sparingly that I take like the little bits out the top, and it's such a good highlighter. That's all you need on your face anyway. So me and my cheap self, I'm literally like, yep, let's just take these tiny remnants off the side and use it sparingly, because this is legit my favourite highlighter, and this is the Le Bronze one. I think the Le Peach was a bit too light, which was why I think she brought out the two different shades anyway. But yeah, this one is most definitely my favourite. So if I'm wearing highlighter, chances are it is this one. I do have the Bretman Rock highlighter palette still, which I quite like. I didn't manage to get any of his last collaboration stuff. But yeah, I do like that, and I do like the fan brush that it came with as well, which is quite cute. But I haven't used a fan brush on highlighter for a little while. I just like a little brush moment. Somehow I always get it perfect on one cheek, and then as soon as I go into the second one, I go in so heavy-handed. And then I've got to like mute how heavy-handed we had just gone in with the highlighter in the first place. So, but that's the good thing, it does blend out quite nicely if you have accidentally got in a little highlight happy, as I had done. And then for lips, I have a old collaboration which is still one of my favorites, because this kind of mauvey nude color has always been my favorite color. So the Alyssa Ashley Elf, I don't know what, Nude Rose, this is the shade in, from years ago. This has still been one of my favorite glosses to go out with. So usually what I'd do is I'd line my lips in a brown, and then I'd put something like this in the middle. Sometimes I don't always go as bright as I've seen others do, but honestly still a staple, because it is a, I don't really know what you call it, like a pigmented gloss. So that's why I like it, because you can wear it on its own, or you can wear it with like a lipstick underneath. So the one thing I like is about the wand as well. So I like how the top is pointed, if you can see it from the side. So the top is pointed, so you can use it to sort of carve at the top, so it's a little bit more precise as well, which is why it's one of my favorites. And this here is pretty much my everyday look. Literally in 17 minutes I filmed this video in, and I can do it a lot quicker because it's just bam, 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 and we are good to go. Usually I miss out the eyeshadow because I don't really put on a lot of eyeshadow, which is why I stopped buying eyeshadow palettes, because I just don't really wear eyeshadow. I like just full lashes instead. Highlighter, full face, usually with some blush as well, just to help carve the face. But yeah, once I got nails and lashes, I am good to go. And that is it. So if we take off the headscarf, here we have the full look. So yes, this is it. I recently cut off my dreads a little while ago, so we're just growing out our natural hair, which I've just straightened, which is why it is looking kind of sickening at the moment. Actually, I'm not mad at it, but I had it cut really short, which is why at the back is the way it is, because it's now growing out, whereas I had it sort of long on top. But yeah, and I've been discovering all the natural hair products and that sort of thing as well. So we've been going through with all that sort of stuff and just learning about different things. So I've been using, like, my hair I've just straightened, and I'm not talking chemically straightened, like just straightened with hair straighteners. So I've been using keratin oil in my hair, and honestly, like, the results I get kind of remind me of a relaxer, which is insane. Like, even my mum asked me, she was like, you know, have you not relaxed your hair? And I was like, no, my hair is still natural. Like, when I wash it, it goes curly. But yeah, this is anywho, back to face. So yes, this is the full face look. Let's just cover this eye of everything. As you can see, the lighting of the, I was trying to work out what it was on my nose, but it's the eyelashes from the lighting angle. Anyway, stopped getting distracted. But yes, this is the full look of my black owned / black collab video. I've got a couple of more makeup bits coming. I've got more content coming, more videos coming, so you will see more consistent videos coming from myself. I did take a break for a while, especially due to COVID and stuff like that, and then I moved to this new spot. But yes, we do have more content coming, and I will catch you guys on my next video.